Saints Row 4 has been banned in Australia because its classification board thinks that an island surrounded by sharks and inhabited by drop bears can't deal with an alien dildo up the arse. Welcome to The Point. No pun intended. Australia has a history of banning games. The poor bastards had to sit there twiddling their thumbs and occasionally chasing dingoes away from their babies while we were all enjoying sick gaming classics like Soldier of Fortune Payback, Mark Echo's Getting Up and Sexy Poker. But on January 1st of this year, a nation of gamers rejoiced as the Australian Classification Board introduced an adult-only rating, finally paving a legitimate path to retail for all those games with blood and tits and stuff. Hooray! Ah, for fuck's sake. Saints Row 4 has been refused classification in Australia because of an alien probe weapon which you can comically stick up people's arses before ejaculating them into the air. Being refused classification under this new system means that it's not even suitable for adults, so apparently viewing this weapon is so detrimental to the human condition that nobody, regardless of colour, age or gender, must ever be allowed to see it! Australia's film board are like the border security guards from that TV show, but instead of stopping Asian people from bringing meat and drugs into the country, they predominantly focus on dildos up the arse. And 2013 has been a bumper year for dildos up the arse. I don't know, maybe Saints Row 4 is the only thing they've left to fuss over. Maybe because nudity and blood are okay, dildos up the arse is the only thing they've left to ban. Maybe they sit around all day just hoping and praying that somebody somewhere releases a game with a dildo up the ass. Or maybe dildos up the arse touch some cultural nerve the rest of the world isn't aware of. Were all the Aborigines slaughtered by dildos up the arse? Did the Wallabies lose the 2003 World Cup because of dildos up the arse? A similar thing happened in the UK and Ireland a number of years ago. I remember when Manhunt 2 was refused classification back home. I was talking to John Kelleher, the head of the Irish Film Board, about it, and he had banned it because on the Wii version you could use the nunchuck and the Wii remote to strangle dudes to death. And when it was coming out of his mouth, it sounded really bad. In the same way that if you could tell people in Saints Row 4 you could sexually assault them with a dildo, without understanding Saints Row's weird take on humour, that's pretty deplorable. I can understand how people unfamiliar with the medium may think that some of the stuff that happens in games is pretty messed up. I once had a radio debate with an older lady about how Grand Theft Auto 4 shouldn't be banned because it had drink driving in it. I remember my mum freaking out when I got Tomb Raider for my birthday. She thought it was a game about grave robbing. Without context, so much of what's in games can be seen as completely outrageous and over the line, but I think the industry has to do a better job of communicating that to people, or at the very least, standing up for itself. As a kid, I'd watch Wile E. Coyote's body being savagely crushed by a boulder and then roll around laughing. When I drunkenly crashed my car in GTA 4 and Roman flew out of the windshield, I rolled around laughing. And when I smashed somebody over the head with a dildo bat in Saints Row 3, I had a good chuckle. The fact that it's stuck near somebody's ass is neither here nor there. Our good friend Wile E. Coyote can attest to that. These classification boards, these protectors of public taste, are made up of old crones who were employed to classify films and don't really know what games are. They'd probably be shocked to hear that you can get Lara Croft to commit suicide, or you can win a game of FIFA without passing the ball to any of the black players. You need to have a deep knowledge of a medium to understand when it crosses the line, and these people don't, and that's why Saints Row 4 has been banned, because some old conservative fuddy-duddies aren't doing their job right. And that's a shame, because dildos up the ass, they're pretty funny. Life. Video games. Video games. Video games. You want to subscribe? Look into the dildo. You want to subscribe? Ooh. You want to follow me on social media? Ooh.